there is one Southerner who has given us all a soundtrack that celebrates the coastal life and just screams, summer is here. That person is Jimmy Buffett. Join us at the table as we discuss Buffett and his Parrot Head fan clubs that were also born in the South. I'm Lainey.
And I'm Laura Beth. And we are Steel Magnolias. The strength of steel
With the grace of a magnolia.
We are here to have uplifting conversations about life in the South.
And we've got plenty of room at our table, so pull up a chair.
Lainey, you are so right, as you said in that intro. The music of Jimmy Buffett and the Coral Reefer Band invoke this yearning for laid-back days of
100%.
lounging on the beach with a margarita in one hand and sunscreen in the other hand.
Right? I mean, it just makes me want to be in a hammock.
It does. It's just this ease, joyous way of life that, we would probably equate to a beach bum, right?
I mean, it's like the ultimate escape music, too. I just think about we all have those times in life when you just want to step away from the grind.
Yes.
And Jimmy Buffett can take me there in half a second.
Yeah. He's pretty amazing as a musician, but he's a genius at building a brand on vacation culture.
Right.
And vacation
I mean, he
life.
has become a billionaire in flip-flops just by wearing flip-flops and singing about it.
And also the cool part about him is this organized group that is so unique and so fun and so philanthropic and so devoted to Jimmy Buffett.
And to each other, it feels like.
That they... we wanted to talk about them, so we're talking about the Parrot Heads in Paradise, the fan club that's associated with Jimmy Buffett and his music. But, there's just a lot to enjoy about him and all that's around him. I'm smiling even just thinking about it. And I'm smiling because you set a wonderful margarita in front of me. So.
Well, I figured we had to have a margarita while we talked about this subject.
Yeah.
And so I came up with my own.
Kudos to you. I've never tackled my own cocktail recipe.
So I'm going to tell you what it is. I called it the Magnolia Margarita.
I love it.
And you know how we say the strength of steel with the grace of a magnolia?
Yes.
Okay. Well, this is the kick of jalapeno with the sweet of a southern peach.
Oh, that's so great. Okay.
So, okay.
Tell us what's in the Magnolia Margarita.
I used 2 ounces of tequila, 1.5 ounces of peach brandy.
Okay.
3/4 ounce of freshly squeezed lime juice.
That's key.
And 1/2 ounce of orange liqueur.
Okay. Maybe could you use a Grand Marnier, you think, or some sort of triple sec if you didn't have the orange liqueur? That's kind of the same, right?
Yeah. And if you want it sweeter, because you were saying you'd kind of like yours even a little sweeter, you could add in maybe 1/2 ounce of agave or simple syrup or something like that.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
And I was going to just give a couple of tips if you're making this margarita or really any
margarita.
Just a couple of tips. Because I've got your back, y'all. Leave your limes out for a little while before you squeeze them. People may already know this, but whether it's lemons, oranges, limes, if you're squeezing citrus, you get so much more juice if you'll let them sit at room temperature for a little bit.
You can leave them out all the time, right?
You can.
I leave my oranges out all the time, but I refrigerate my lemons and my limes. And now I'm confused as to why I even do that.
Leave them out right before, at least for an hour or two before you're going to squeeze them, and you'll get so much more juice.
Good tip.
Second tip is last year for my birthday, I was given the best cocktail shaker. It's called Elevated Craft.
It's pretty. It's very pretty. It looks bigger than a typical cocktail shaker, or taller, I mean.
I think I don't know if it is, but the thing that's so beautiful about this shaker is it's so easy to get the top off. You know how so often they get lodged?
Because they're cold and they're stuck together.
That does not happen with this one. It's the best cocktail shaker, Elevated Craft.
Okay.
And I would also just wanted to mention, I used a smoked salt on the rim just because I was also thinking, well, that's kind of Southern. Like we like to smoke things.
Yes,
so I used smoked salt. But the smoked salt that I had is kind of large pieces.
Yeah.
So you can put any kind of salt like that in a magic bullet and get it fine so it will go on a rim.
Is that what you did?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And it looks perfect. I'll put a picture up on Instagram.
So there's your margarita tips.
I love it.
For your trip to Margaritaville.
Well, thank you. We had music going earlier, but obviously licensing issues. We were not going to have a bunch of Buffett music.
Oh my gosh!
In this episode, but y'all,
let's just talk about some though. Margaritaville.
We wanted to make this also like just kind of our send off too. This is going to be our last episode before our summer break, so. Yeah, this is the music of summer, and we just thought also that this will be...
That's a great way to send you into the season.
Yes.
Well, I mean, Son of a Sailor.
Oh, yes.
Changes in Latitudes. Those are both so good to me.
I love Hurricane. That's so fun and upbeat. Cheeseburger in Paradise.
Yes.
Margaritaville.
Fins.
What's the one that's the pencil thin mustache? Is that what it's actually called?
That's what it's called.
I just did motions to Lainey.
We had motions.
Y'all can't see it, but it was from a choreography
that
Lainey came up with as a dance to that song.
We did have.
When I was circa, I don't know.
And we were in the car on the way to the beach.
Yes.
I believe that was a Myrtle Beach trip.
This was pre-iPads
with Alan Campbell and Claire Campbell.
DVD players in the car, so this has come up with something to do in the back seat for 9 hours.
We have motions and choreography.
Choreography to Pencil Thin Mustache.
Well, he has had so many. Come Monday.
Oh, that's a good one.
So many good songs. But yeah, y'all, I didn't realize, maybe this is just naivete, but he is a billionaire.
I didn't know that till you told me that. Yeah, billionaire. Billionaire.
All while just writing songs about escaping to the coast. Mm-hmm. I mean, wow. Even if it's just in our minds, right? I'm just so happy when I'm out on a boat.
Oh, yeah. Anything water, honestly, I'm happy. I could be out on a boat in the lake, on the ocean. I could just be near the ocean, near the lake.
There's just something to me that's special about being on a boat out in it, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sailboat, motorboat.
Yeah.
Anything. It's just so wonderful. And our dad loved boating.
Yes, he did.
And so that was also, I think, a reason a lot of these songs speak to me, because just
feels
time
familiar.
Out on the water.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I don't know if you found this when you were doing your research, Laura Beth, but Jimmy Buffett was born in, wait for it, Pascagoula, Mississippi.
Y'all think we're making this up when we say every good writer and musician seems to have hailed from the great Magnolia State of Mississippi, but I remember seeing his name in the Grammy Museum.
I mean, it's just unbelievable how many came from Mississippi.
Yeah.
He also spent childhood time in Mobile, Alabama, and later Fairhope, Alabama.
All of those are coastal. Even Pascagoula is coastal. So I mean, it makes sense why he just gravitates.
Though this is not the music he started with.
No, good point.
Right?
I'm glad you said that.
So we'll get to that in just a second.
Okay.
But his college years, he spent some time at Auburn.
Okay.
And then Pearl River Community College in Mississippi.
Okay.
And then finally finished at University of Southern Mississippi.
Okay.
In Hattiesburg.
Okay.
Which we have not gotten to yet, but want to.
No, we haven't.
And he was a Kappa Sigma. And I remember that because I had some friends that were Kappa Sigma. Shout out to Chippy.
Kappa Sig.
And they, were so proud to say that he was a Kappa Sig.
That's probably the one they mention. That's so great.
I did read this from his website, and I'm just going to quote it because I thought this was so cute. When Jimmy saw how a fraternity brother in college with a guitar garnered the attention of the girls, he quickly learned a few basic chords and started playing himself. Suddenly, Jimmy's world opened up. While he still attended classes, he quickly had his first band and went from busking the streets of New Orleans to playing 6 nights a week at Bourbon Street clubs.
Whoa! 6 nights a week? That's burnout material right there. That's hardcore.
That's under 2 hours to get there from where he was. But still, you'd have to be young to do that.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
Drive 2 hours.
Yeah.
Play all night, drive 2 hours, go to class the next morning. Yeah. Well, hopefully go to class.
Yeah.
So we hope that happens.
That's not online. It's all in person.
That's right.
Yeah, you're there or you're not.
Well, after graduation, Jimmy headed to Nashville to work for Billboard magazine and try his luck as a folk country singer.
Okay.
He released his first record called Down to Earth in 1970.
Wow.
So with that album coming out in 1970, that's about the time that our dad was first moving here.
Yes.
Scouting out where to live before moving Mom and I.
From East Tennessee.
Yes. So Dad actually saw Jimmy Buffett at the Exit Inn doing all country because he was still just a country artist.
That is incredible. That is a club of about 200 people probably, and is a legacy nightclub. We actually covered it in an episode that we talked about just different Southern nightclubs that have sort of had an impact or an influential person that's, made
come
their
out of
start
there.
there.
And there were several that came out of Exit Inn.
Yes.
But yeah, isn't that fun to think about Dad, old school Dad here in
seeing him country? I love that.
All doing country. So, but it was actually a trip with Jerry Jeff Walker to Key West, Florida in 1971 that would give Jimmy the inspiration to merge musically his wanderlust and storytelling, and this whole thing that was birthed post the country music.
Now, Key West that's so interesting because we've talked about Florida a little bit, and that that far south doesn't feel like
not
the
really
South.
The South anymore.
And so it is interesting to think, of him being a Mississippi guy and getting so much
Mississippi,
inspiration.
Alabama, Louisiana, and then
because that feels so tropical. That might as well be its own Caribbean island down there to me.
Yeah, which he also spends a lot of time there now.
Yes.
So I think it's just mostly the water, the fishing, all of that got in him at a young age, but now it's like full blown.
Yeah. I can totally see how at that age you're just like, because that's for me personally, when I got into Jimmy Buffett the most was about that like post-college age.
For sure, me too.
When you're just like floundering in life. What am I going to do? Sorry for the pun, but what am I going to do? I have this degree or I don't have this degree, but it's time to get adult. Now it's adulting time, and
But all I really want to do is sit in a hammock with, play a djembe with my friends.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
He
found a way to make money doing it.
So he did.
But yeah, that's when this whole persona began for him. And this genre, actually, thanks to him, has its own name now.
Yeah.
It's called trop rock.
As in tropical rock.
That's right. Rock. And there are others who've made full-time careers out of playing this sound.
Yeah.
Including one that we used to go see when I was in college. And then, I'm not sure, did you ever go see Tall Paul?
I've heard of Tall Paul, but I don't know if I've seen Tall Paul.
Okay. Well.
But yeah, surely Tall Paul played at the Kappa Sig house or somewhere near my campus. Yeah.
But this is like the ultimate building of a brand.
Yeah.
And I just think about even how many fun things there are around that whole beach bum lifestyle. Coral Reefer. How funny is that?
So cute.
Margaritaville.
Yeah. Its own brand.
And just so many fun words. Fin Club and Parrot Head clubs.
Yeah.
And you watched the documentary, did you not?
Yeah, I was going to say escapism. But yes, I did. The Parrot Heads film is available on Amazon Prime, but also on YouTube. So I'm going to link to it in the show notes because you can watch this Parrot Heads film for free.
And I think it was from 2017,
it is.
Something like that.
Yes.
Okay. So not crazy old.
No, but a little history just covered in the film was this guy used to live in St. Augustine, Florida. And for bar entertainment, he was used to hearing Jimmy Buffett cover bands. That was just like
what you
on
heard.
The regular. Yeah. And so this guy, his name is Scott Nickerson. He's then living in Atlanta in like 90 or 92.
Yes, early 90s.
Yeah. And he loves Jimmy Buffett. So anytime he hears Jimmy Buffett, that makes him feel like home too, of the St. Augustine years. And so he puts an ad in the
Creative Loafing, which I would have been reading in 93, 4.
Yeah. When they said in the film that Creative Loafing was the newspaper that he put it in, I knew that name. And it was just for a get-together of any Jimmy Buffett fans. Hey, you want to meet up? And 12 people got together. And from there,
before there was big meetups like there are now.
I know. Like, can you imagine? That's how he would have had to do that. And other than stapling a flyer onto a telephone pole, that's
in
how
little
you
5 points or something.
That's how you do meetups. Is you put an ad in the paper, right? And so from there, the Coconut newsletter of Jimmy Buffett's brand, they put the Atlanta Parrot Head Club, including the organizer's name and phone number, into one of their newsletters. And then this guy,
phone blew
Scott,
up.
he starts getting calls from all over the world wanting to organize their own club in their city. Like, he's made a model now.
Uh-huh.
How do we do it in our city? So incredible.
How
and
it was born right there in Atlanta, and that particular club still meets in Marietta.
Does it really?
So
oh my
fun.
Gosh, I love that. The thing that I thought was so cool about these Parrot Heads, because stereotypically, you just imagine it's just tailgating drunkenness, right? Like,
But it's not.
It's not. So, they love to party, but they call it partying with a purpose. A lot of times.
And it's a lot of philanthropic causes. And
so in this film, the 2017 film that we just mentioned, it said that the Parrot Heads have raised over $42 million for charities and donated more than 3.1 million hours of volunteer time. Now, the website has updated that. Their 18-year total for these Parrot Head clubs is they've donated now $56.9 million and almost 5 volunteer hours. That's a lot of service time.
4.5 million.
Sorry.
Volunteer hours. Wow.
Yes. That's a lot. So cool. And so I thought it was really, really, really special the way this guy, Scott, he was at the helm and really had the vision to start these, but he got sick.
Yeah.
And he was a musician himself, and he got terminally sick. He did recover. He had like a brain tumor or something. They totally came around him.
Yeah, there was more than one story of that, of people that were
raising
really
money.
Engulfed in this culture, and then when they hit hard times, the people just helped them out.
Yeah, way more than like community, like family.
Yeah.
It was real. Yeah, there's another story of a woman that was paralyzed from diving into a swimming pool and breaking her neck, and it was like 2 days before her like
big gathering she was excited to go to. And I think Buffett reached out to her.
He did.
Called her.
Yeah.
So amazing.
So incredibly kind group of people that really do care about each other and about good causes and charities. And so, to me, that was the real like, whoa moment of learning about these Parrot Heads, is that it's way more than just drinking and listening to music.
And you can actually go on the website, which I'm sure you'll link to in the show notes, to find where there is one close to you.
Yes.
There's a Music City club.
Yes.
I can't remember the name. Music City Fin Club or something.
Okay. There's 210 worldwide listed on the website, but they have virtual clubs. If you don't have one near you, you can join a virtual club. And they have an annual meeting. They call it the Meeting of the Minds.
I love that so much. I love that name.
This goes back to this guy, Scott, that started it, too. Yeah. They're meeting October 24th through 29th this year in Gulf Shores, Alabama.
It'd be so fun.
So you can get on the website and see all the details around that.
And there's another gathering that happens in New Orleans they call Party Gras.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
That one has already happened because it's a January thing. But January 11th to 14th will be the dates in 2024 down in the French Quarter if you want to jump in that one.
They love a good play on words in
That's
this
right.
in this culture. Speaking of words, I think I need to mention the terms Jimmy Buffett, Margaritaville, Parrot Heads, like 2 words, or Parrot Heads, 1 word, Parrot Head Club, and PHC are all registered trademarks of Margaritaville.inc.
Oh my gosh.
I'm talking, this is a brand.
Well, let me talk a little bit about that.
Okay.
Because according to Forbes, I just found this fascinating. Buffett's assets include an estimated $570 million from touring and recording, $50 million music catalog,
whoa,
and $140 million in planes, homes, and shares in Berkshire Hathaway.
Wow.
Now, that's Warren Buffett's big thing, and they are not related. I thought,
oh yeah,
it made me go, Berkshire Hathaway, is he related to Warren Buffett?
Good question.
And so I looked it up, and they're not related. In fact, they even, I think, did some kind of blood test to see.
Just to make sure. They've cleared it. It's all cleared up.
But that whole, I think he may only own a portion of the brand that owns all these hotels and resorts and all of that.
Okay. We have a Margaritaville and hotel in downtown Nashville now.
Yeah.
And we need to go check that out.
We do.
Because it would be fun to see. And yeah, there's all these properties.
It's a pretty day. You want to go?
I'm still a Wheel of Fortune fan. So Wheel of Fortune oftentimes does giveaways with Margaritaville prizes. They gave away a Margaritaville home one time. We're giving it all sorts of coverage, and it looked every bit of what you would imagine a Florida neighborhood called Margaritaville would look like. I mean, pastel homes,
And I love in those resorts and stuff, they always have the big, huge flip-flop that people like to get their picture made next to. But yeah, they have locations in the U.S., Canada, Mexico. I think there's 6 island locations throughout the Caribbean.
Wow.
Sydney, Australia. Yeah.
Good Lord. That's crazy. And I think it's just awesome that, Jimmy Buffett just kind of lets them.
Yeah, some of them are franchise owned.
The Parrot Head clubs, they just run.
Yes, that's not with his
themselves.
Yeah.
He's privy to them. You can find Parrot Head clubs from Jimmy Buffett's website. It's not like they're totally separate.
Yeah.
But for the most part, they're still just an organic fan club to me, it sounds like.
Well, I also just quote, this is straight from his website, but I thought this was just a good write-up of kind of a summary. Today, after 27 studio albums, 3 New York Times best-selling books, a Broadway play, numerous movie and television appearances, Grammy nominations, and Academy of Country Music and Country Music Association awards, it's still the music that inspires Jimmy. He's just as likely to pop up and play an impromptu set alone at a Caribbean beach bar as he is to be on a stage in front of 30,000 loyal Parrot Head fans. And after logging millions of miles on the road, on the ocean, and in the air, distant ports still beckon, and the same unbridled curiosity drives him to keep looking for that next story to share via song.
Wow.
I loved that.
That's really cool. Now, you've seen him live.
I have seen him live a couple of times, both summer.
You could write a number 2 on your
That's not very
biceps,
impressive.
like the Parrot Head Club members do.
I had never seen that.
I
didn't know that's what that was, if I did see it.
The ones in the film, they're up in the 50s and beyond.
49, 72.
What number show this is for them. Yeah, so you could write a 2 or 3, I guess, on your arm for the next one you go to.
But yeah, I know that he does some indoor, wintry kind of stuff, but you go in the summer. It doesn't matter where you are. You don't need to be up close. Be out in the grass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so fun because so many of the songs, everybody sings.
Yes.
There's hand motions to some, like fins and...
Fins to the left, fins to the right. Yes.
Just a really fun culture around all of that.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if he even does very many winter dates. That's probably when he loves being...
He's probably in the Caribbean at that time.
That's songwriting content.
That's right. Well, so fun. Now, he's had a couple of Grammy nominations. I don't think he's actually won a Grammy.
Really?
But he's gotten lots of other Country Music Association awards and was the recipient of one of the nation's highest songwriting honors when he was inducted into the Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame.
Now, I'm really glad that Nashville gave him a nod because I'm always hopeful that if somebody didn't, end up getting signed to a label here or they lived here for a little bit but then moved on, I'm always hopeful that Nashville was kind to them.
Yeah, I think he had a bad experience early on with Nashville, but I hope that he's now sane.
Well,
he doesn't care.
He doesn't care. And he shouldn't. He shouldn't have cared then, but he certainly doesn't have to care now. Well, it's so sweet to think of just all of the years that people have gotten to see his shows, the friendships that have come from meeting people at shows. And if you're lucky and have friends from a Parrot Head club, I think they take really good care of you. So,
well, if you're looking for a place to plug in this summer, maybe you see if there's a Parrot Head club close to you.
That's right. That's right. And as you were saying, a lot of talk about fins. A Parrot Head often communicates with another Parrot Head by putting the flat side of their hand on top of their head, making like a shark fin. And saying fins up.
Fins up.
That's a reference to
the fins up.
Fins song.
So cute.
Yeah.
Well, what a great kickoff to summer.
Yes. So we will see you guys back here in sort of the end of summer time frame. We'll be posting on social media when the new episodes for the fall season come online, or you can subscribe to our newsletter. That's also a good way to get information from us, especially for those of you that are less and less on social media. Join the newsletter, and that way you'll get something in your email and you won't even have to check Instagram or Facebook. But if those are places that you are as well, then follow us there. And if you would like to support us financially, you can do that through stillmagnoliaspodcast.com.
We appreciate it very much. That's how we keep doing the things we're doing.
That's right. So until next time, fins up!
And peace be with you.